everyone. Welcome to an episode of DC on TV. We look at everything in the Arrowverse that's not going on right now. I'm Justin.
And I'm Pablo.
And this week we are doing The Flash. Savior of the universe.
As in our last episode, where we recapped everything about Supergirl Season 2, this is going to be the Flash-centric episode of
Flash Season 3.
Everything we liked, disliked, and what happened this season. Justin, tell us what happened on this season.
I'll do a better job this week. So, this one was... The whole thing was about this Savitar, who's the god of the Speed Force, and Barry goes to the future. Well, first it opened with Flashpoint for an episode. What the hell was that all about? And then you meet Savitar. He's the god of the Speed Force. And the whole story arc of the season is Barry looks into the future and sees that in a few months he's going to kill Iris. So that's the main story arc. But we also get Kid Flash joins the crew. Jessie Quick, she really never joined last season, right? She kind of joined this season more so, right? In the costume, at least.
Yes.
Jessie Quick.
She didn't get her powers till kind of the end.
Yeah.
And it kind of... we see her more this season.
And then we also got Julian. Draco Malfoy stops by, and he's not an evil person. Surprising. That's acting for him, I guess. Am I missing anything from this season? What else did I miss? Got more Killer Frost.
Relationships evolve. We see dive deeper into the psychology of Caitlin and her.
Yeah.
If she is a good person.
Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing going on.
Exactly. We see, again,
Iris.
with relationships, we see Barry and Iris. We see Joe possibly have a future relationship with someone that's kind of left up in the air.
And how could I forget the greatest character of all this season? HR.
Exactly. We have a new
HR's
introduction.
Relationship with not only himself, but other women that he can get his hands on. Oh, man.
And we also see Cisco dive into that relationship world as well.
With
so
Gypsy.
A lot of relationships this season. A lot of
Pablo
building.
loves in his comic books, shows, and movies. Right, Pablo?
If it's done right, I don't care. A lot of building, a lot of character building, and a lot of decision making. But I guess that's done every season.
Yep.
So, Justin, where do you want to start with this?
I was going to ask you, what are some things you liked this season?
I really liked the building of worlds again. We get another Earth 19, where HR comes from.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, is this the first time we've actually been to Earth 3 as well, right? With Jay.
That is true. We actually see more, again, building the world. We go into the Speed Force sometime this season.
Yeah.
We go to all these, at least Earth 3, and it's just the characters that come back, that's always a plus. We've seen them already the past 2 seasons building great chemistry with each other. So it's always a welcome to have people like, we have people like Captain Cold making a comeback in this episode. We have Gorilla Grodd being back. Gorilla City, as you mentioned, yeah, that's back.
Gorilla City. Take me down to Gorilla City where the apes are hairy and the women are pretty.
How long have you been holding that one on to?
Off the top of my dome.
And I just think The Flash does a really great job of having these characters build. Sometimes they leave to other shows, but they always do a good job of bringing them back. And that's one thing I enjoyed.
Yeah, I can see that.
What about you? What are some things that you liked?
I really liked Wells. Wells was some good, fun comedy. I felt Wells was fun. I kind of was. Hold on. What else do I like? I like that we got more of Cisco using his vibe powers. I mean, Flash isn't the strongest superhero, so he could use a team
Well,
vibe. You don't think so?
Technically, the Flash is so fast that he can predict everything that's happening around him. So
Wait, he can?
Yes.
What? Some other things I liked this season. I thought Julian was cool. I liked how he was kind of really douchey and not likable in the first few episodes. He really came around, and I enjoyed him. I liked him being a part of the team. A new straightforward dynamic that they really haven't had. And as far as parts that there was that I liked, like I said earlier last week, I like the Supergirl crossover. Like the whole thing with Future Barry and the whole thing of from the Mega crossover one. You know, Future Barry, which turned out to, spoilers, be someone really bad. But episodes wise, I liked the whole training of Wally. I liked Wally joining. I hope to see more of him and Wally. That's what I feel like they should have focused on a little bit more.
Yeah, I can see that.
Stuff. Wally is a really important character. I really wish we would have gotten more Jesse time. The 3 of them. Kind of just was there and left. I like they're trying things though with Flashpoint. I don't think they nailed it with Flashpoint, but I liked the idea that they were trying to do a Flashpoint. I would have liked to have seen a full Flashpoint, but there's no way they could do it with the whole Arrowverse because that would affect everything.
That is true.
That's the one. That's the thing I would dislike. Going to the dislikes. What about you, Pablo?
I'm agreeing with you. Just the whole Flashpoint. It was we kind of knew it wasn't going to play out a whole season long.
Yeah.
But I can't see why they didn't go that route. Pretty much what happened in Flashpoint was self-contained to the Flash, bar some minor things changing of a daughter to a son on Arrow. Caitlin being more future evolved in her powers. I think that was always a game plan for her to end up as Killer Frost.
Yeah.
It was just, I guess, it's accelerated for him. And it was just, I don't think it was like planned out completely, you know. We'll do all these changes or these minor changes, but we'll only self-contain it because of the Flash season.
Yeah.
So if that's true, why couldn't they play it out the whole season and still keep the shows the same if so minor things were changed?
Yeah, or make it like a thing of, would this be lame if they kind of did like, all right, we're in Flashpoint, we're in this alternate reality, and then it's not until he comes back and changes everything, like he goes back to where he left off at, that makes it permanent kind of thing? Or that causes all the ripples? Like as if the show's like if Arrow was in still pre-Flashpoint and Flash went post-Flashpoint, it just kept going. You know what I mean?
I actually would have preferred that a lot more. I would have. Yeah, it's a lot more difficult, and if you're trying to bring in more fans to the show,
You can't connect it then until later.
You
Until after
can't.
Flash comes
But
out.
ideally, that's what I would have wanted. I would have wanted a self-contained Flash season of Flashpoint. Every episode be independent, or every other show be independent, and then come back season 4 out of Flashpoint, and then seeing all the effects that it did on the other shows.
Because then that could even cause all the villains to show up, and that could even save them like a few weeks of Arrow and maybe Supergirl, I guess, or Legends. I don't know how far it'll affect, but like then you could even do like a first 8 weeks no real supervillain until end of Flashpoint. Then the villains get thrown in there because Flashpoint caused them to throw in there. Like
Exactly.
and that could be a thing of like the thing that they don't know is that Barry's the reason why they're dealing with these villains at the time.
Exactly. It just seemed like
They could have done something better.
exactly what you said. The idea was there. It was a good idea. It just, I don't know if they chose not to expand on it, or they
Yeah.
didn't want to change everything about it, or they didn't want to have like the first, all right, these 8 weeks, we're going to have focus on this story that's super important, but
Yeah.
it's going to affect everything else.
Or even the fact that, like, I think it's just that they were calling it Flashpoint, and Flashpoint is such a big event in the DC Comics universe, and then they just brushed it off into one episode. It was done.
Yeah.
I felt like
Yeah.
that's the only thing I was like, man, I would have liked to have seen so much more. Like, where was Arrow at in this Flashpoint world? Where is all these other characters at? That would have been interesting to see.
Yeah.
Like, what if Ollie's like a drunk, like, or like he's just like a douchey bachelor still?
And
you
we
know what I
kind of
mean?
saw that in an episode of Legends when they go into the future.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more.
But
like,
I think that did a better job of.
Well, the thing I'm trying to get at is in Flashpoint, what if because of that, Arrow's not a hero? What if he's a villain? What if, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
in
that, I
Legends, we
guess
kinda got that.
that's what I'm telling you, that
spear.
they probably didn't want to change everything.
Yeah,
But I mean, I can see, from my point of view, I can see how it could have been a self-contained Flash season, and everything else could have been independent of itself. And that was
Yeah.
one of my dislikes.
yeah.
As well as the characters that you mentioned. Yeah, they brought all these characters like Wally West. They had Jesse Quick. You even had, they brought back
Jay Garrick.
Jay Garrick. But the only thing is, they weren't really important to the story, bar
Yeah.
like an episode or two. It was more for like, oh, check out this cool promo of this next episode where we're going to have these 3 people. And it was just mainly used as, oh, that's a cool scene. That's a cool photo. But it's never really, they were instrumental to helping.
Yeah, like I was gonna bring up, like you said, back to the relationships. We got the Jesse and Wally thing, but even then, like, is Jesse really that busy that we can't have her on every week? I wouldn't mind her a season regular.
Well, then it turns into what I would mention before about the nerfing of the characters. You had all these powerful
You have 3
characters.
speedsters then. Yeah.
How are they ever going to lose to anyone? And they lose by, making dumb decisions, having powers that they
But-
conveniently forget about.
Yeah, I
And
can
it's
see that.
just, it's got to, I don't know. It's
can see
getting
that.
too big for TV is what I'm thinking.
I could agree with that. That's why I think it could work with this new villain. With the wait, we don't comment on. Wait, it's not a rumor. It's official.
Go ahead. It is official.
What is his name? We have breaking news coming. I texted to you.
But I don't know anything about the character, so I'm not really going to be able to go into it.
It was the guy. Didn't we see him already?
Did we?
I thought it was that one guy. Remember that one guy he kept like teleporting through?
Huh?
Didn't we see him? Remember there was that one episode in the future with what's the guy that causes vertigo? Mirror Master? No.
Oh, Mirror Master?
Remember, it was the other guy. Remember, there's that guy who's stealing something from the future? Remember, he's getting off in the spaceship and they're going to stop him?
If I can't remember, you going deeper and deeper. Do you remember this? It's not.
Flash 4 villain. A few months ago, we had our first clue about next season. We are not going to have a speedster as the main bad guy. Executive producer Andrew Kreisberg told the crowd at Paley Fest in Los Angeles. Sabotage storyline, so could it be? Abracadabra was being led off to face his fate. Barry tried to appeal to his better nature, begging for information about Savitar. Remember? He's the guy from the future that says, that's the guy who's coming back as the bad guy, Abracadabra. So if he's the new bad guy for season 4, I think they could easily use all 3 of the speedsters. Because he was super... I told you, like, isn't this guy a little too powerful for the Flash? Like...
Yeah, that is true. But then, okay.
I liked him. I'm curious to see more from him. What about you?
I have that problem that you're saying now. He's such a powerful villain. He couldn't take down one speedster, but against 3, exactly. Shouldn't that end in one fight?
You know how we'll find out? By watching season 4 of The Flash live on the CW Tuesdays at 8 o'clock.
Anything else I want to add?
I was gonna bring up something if you want me to. I was gonna move it on.
What was it gonna be?
Oh, one thing I was gonna add that I was gonna go back to was another thing I liked was Gorilla City. I like the whole thing of having Grodd come in. And then, like, even so that they don't use all their money on the budget, like, of creating, like, this ape, they just use him to mind control people. I wouldn't mind a full season of Grodd being a villain, would you?
No, I agree with you.
Grodd's
that's another
really good villain.
That's another thing that they could have done, and I guess same thing as the Supergirl season. It just seemed like so many things were happening. They didn't really know where they wanted to go, and ultimately the villain was a letdown. I don't know about you, but I was
Savitar?
not.
Yeah.
That ending was just
built up all this big reveal and nothing came of it.
And then, as always, they had like, oh, these people are gonna die, but it was like empty promises.
Let me throw it to you because that was my like, so I was gonna keep it as a like. So let me throw it to you as like a dislike, and then see the whole, and then we can just use that.
I should have just gone with that. That was all natural.
That's why I'll just use that. So I was just gonna say, so we can have it, and then I'll cut it in front. As far as dislikes, Pablo, what did you think of Savitar? I think he was a bit of a letdown.
I completely agree with you. This villain was built up as this monster,
the god of the Speed Force, literally.
Making all these, whoever is dead or whoever I kill can't be brought back. But it was just, as I guess DC comics and TV shows, it wasn't real. They were no real threats in what he was saying.
Yeah,
it was kind of a weak villain to build up around.
Yeah,
and it just, that was disappointed by it. It was just like there was no point. There were so many things that could have been done this season that they introduced so many people. Like you had mentioned, Gorilla City. That could have been a whole season arc of him trying to take over or something.
Take over Star City, Starling City, whatever.
Or him taking over Earth 2 and how they had to go over there and fix it. But no, we got a villain whose motivation didn't really make sense. And even if you include all the time travel and everything, they make even less sense. And then the character motivations for switching sides and everything make even less sense.
What are some things you're looking forward to, though, for season 4?
Well, let me tell you about my favorite episode. I think I would still go with the Flashpoint one.
Really?
Just because of all the... Not because of just that one episode, but because of the possibilities that it had opened up.
Okay.
We get all these other heroes and villains because of it. Everything that happens is because of this one choice. I just wish it would have been bigger than one episode.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I agree. Like I said, I agreed with that. What are you looking forward to for next season?
Let me tell you, for next season, I hope it goes back on course because I thought Flash was one of the funner shows. And I think...
Funner's not a word, Pablo.
It is now. If we say DCU next week...
Book it!
I thought Flash was one of the more fun shows to watch, season 1. And I hope it gets back to that. And it's just, what do I want to see? I want to see maybe a new Flash suit.
I'd be down for that.
A relationship, as long as it makes sense. I want to see what happens with Joe.
Sure.
If you're going to bring back characters, make them useful, not just that's a cool moment. Writing, I just hope that it's back on point to season 1. But this is a show that can turn around easily.
I think so,
and it's got so many possibilities that they can go in so many routes, whether it be... I wouldn't want to go speedster, but villain-wise, they got options to go in any way they want. That's what I hope. What about you?
I want to see more Wells. I like that we're getting the Wells from Earth 2. I think he'll probably be back this season. Um, yeah, and like I said, I want to see Jesse more. I like Jesse a lot. I like her thing with Wally. But yeah, like you're right, it would cause. Hey, how are they gonna beat 3 speedsters and like lose ever? Yeah, I want to see more Iris doing stuff besides just hanging around Barry too.
Oh, that
That
is
is
true.
A news reporter,
Exactly.
like Lois. She kind of just didn't do anything besides just stand around going, "Barry, I'm gonna die soon."
And then her saying, "I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with it." It just, I agree with you. I want to see her be more badass.
Saying back season 1, I want more teachable moments with Joe. I like the whole thing of Flash. He's very vulnerable. I feel like he's still. This is only his 3rd year in his power, and yeah, I like him being happier. And then when the sadder things come on to him, like the harder choices he has to make, Joe's always there to help him steer that ship. And that's what I think is. That's what I liked about Joe. Am I wrong there or no?
I mean, at some point he's kind of got to grow up, and he's had these mentors.
The father figure of Joe. Joe's really good at giving those speeches. Like,
I mean,
Barry, it's a tough choice, but you got to make it.
It just gets to a point where I'm tired of hearing these speeches. You got to move on, and I think it's just more fatigue.
I guess I should say that I like more of Father Joe. Like, remember the scene with Iris before she's gonna die, like in season, like in the season. What is it? I'm sorry, Earth 2 or whatever. I just like more Joe moments being with the family.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, those are always fun. More Cisco making his references. He stopped making that many references, huh?
I'm kind of happy about it. I don't need as much.
I like it.
I don't need it as much, but I'm okay with it.
Curious to see where they go with Caitlyn. Maybe Caitlyn joins the team. Killer Frost turns good. I'm curious to see what they do with her. More so. I want to see a little more Wally. Wally kind of just showed up here and there, and that's about it. That's been DC on TV this week. We broke down The Flash. Went real deep on this one. But we do because we love.
And as always, what were your favorite and least favorite episodes? Leave a comment down below.
Moments.
Leave a comment down below and let us know.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell. You can get pings sent to your phone that say, "Hey, DC on TV just did a new episode." You're like, "What? They're talking about Flash? That ended a while ago."
As always, you can follow us over on you can follow us over at Instagram at Screenophiles.
Yep, Screenophiles will be posting
something,
whether it's just Pablo playing Rainbow Six or my dog sleeping in his cabana I made.
How about us playing Injustice 2?
I'd be down for that.
Let us know if you guys would be down for an episode of Injustice 2. I'm sure Moy.
Injustice 2.
We'll find Moy. Moy probably has it. Moy, do you have it? Let us know in the comments down below.
We're not gonna text you or call you. We'll just see if you comment down below. We know you're watching.
But as always, you've been DC'd on TV, and we'll see you next week.
Oh my God, it's like a sexual act that's been upon them.